Yep. Hello, guys. You are welcome to today's edition of the Chris Echato Mindset Academy. In the Chris Echato Mindset Academy, we talk about real estate, education, and of course, digital economy. Today, let us quickly talk about tips for business success in Nigeria and Africa. Let us quickly talk about some tips for business successes in Nigeria and Africa. Let me quickly say one thing. Now, Africa is clearly the future. And if you are thinking about doing business in Africa, there is no place like Nigeria. We may not have all that it takes for businesses to take off in terms of infrastructures and modern amenities like some other African countries. But one thing that cannot be taken away from Nigeria is our population and our youthful population. If you are thinking about communication, if you are thinking about telecom, if you're thinking about IT, Nigeria, even without those things that are available in Europe and America, Nigerians can still compete. One of the things that really help us is our education. But quickly, let us talk about tips that would help you succeed in Nigeria and Africa. With our population, nobody can take away business from Nigeria. Other African countries will try, but they cannot compete with our population. We are clearly ahead of other people in terms of market and market size. And even when we talk about the GDP of Africa, Nigeria has not just the elephant size, not just the eagle size, but the lion size of the GDP. So let me quickly go through some of the things that I believe are tips that will help you if you want to succeed in Africa or specifically in Nigeria. The first is selling to businesses requires business knowledge and product knowledge. If you intend to sell to businesses, if you are doing business in Nigeria and you intend to sell to businesses, you must have what we call business knowledge and you must also have what we call product knowledge. There's a difference between these two kinds of knowledge. Now, business knowledge is talking about understanding of where the business is going, knowing what they need, knowing their target market, knowing the mission of the business. If you know where the business is going, it will be easy for you to sell to that business. And then product knowledge. What product or service is that business selling? Knowing the product, knowing the services that the customers, the business you intend to sell to is into, it will help you to be able to sell to those businesses. So the first tip you must know is that if you intend to sell to businesses, you need to have knowledge of that business and you also need to have knowledge of the product and the services that this business is all about. That tip will help you to succeed. That knowledge will help you to succeed in selling to the business or selling to individuals in a particular industry. So that is tip number one. And then the tip number two is that salespeople should be familiar with competition. They should be familiar with the products of their competitors, with the prices of their competitors, and the method of sales of their competitors. So because business is about sales. If you are not selling, your business will not last long. Your cash will soon dry out and you will soon bleed out of business. So if your sales team should be familiar with what their competitors are doing. The same thing is applicable to nations. So for Nigeria to really succeed in international sales, Nigeria government must understand what other nations in competition with Nigeria are doing. Now, oil is not the only thing that Nigeria sells. Nigeria sell agricultural products. Nigeria sell, some finished consumer goods. But for us to compete effectively, especially in OPEC, for us to compete effectively with others, we must understand what our competitors are doing. We must know the market, the target. We must know the products they sell. We must know the price at which they sell, and their method of selling must be known to us. So for businesses to equally succeed in Nigeria, businesses must know what other businesses are doing, know their price, know their product, know their method of sales. And then another tip, all right, is business to business transactions take place between experienced people. Business to business transactions takes place between business people, between experienced people, between people that are trained. Now, if you are into education, for instance, that is, you have a school, for you to do business to business transaction with other schools, with other institutions, okay, you must be experienced. Now, transactions at that level takes place between experienced people. So the first tip we did say is that for you to succeed in business, you must know that selling to businesses requires that you have business knowledge and product knowledge. And then we also said that your sales team or salespeople must be familiar with their competition. They must know what they are up against. Some of the things you discuss in the office, some of the plans you have in the office, these are just mere theories until you get to the field. So, but for you to succeed against your competitors, you must understand what they are selling, the price at which they sell, and the method of sales. Then, of course, we just say the third tip is that business to business transaction takes place between experienced people. Now, the fourth tip, the fourth thing you must know that will help you succeed in business is for you to have a worldwide reputation and a top brand image. Having a worldwide reputation and a top brand image will normally open doors for you. If you are going into doing business internationally, you must have a brand consciousness, all right? So you must have a worldwide reputation. Okay, if you are not well known, especially these days whereby a presence on social media can help you to build your brand. If you are not well known in the world, all right, you will not be able to have access to potential clients. So for you to be able to have access to potential clients and succeed in business, either in Nigeria, in Africa, in Europe or America, or in any other part of the world, you must have a worldwide reputation. People in different parts of the world should have an idea as to who you are. And then the fifth tip is the doors of hard prospects can be softened by four things essentially: advertising campaign, that is social media usage and other traditional media, and then of course email marketing and cold calling, online and offline, then telephone and SMS marketing, or what you call tele-sales. So for you to be able to knock on hard prospects and gain access to hard prospects, you know, you must find a way to soften their heart, must find a way to soften that hardness by doing advertising, by doing email marketing, by doing online and offline cold calling, and then, of course, tele-sales. You must be ready to invest in advertising campaign, sales promotions, go to exhibitions, go to conferences, go for seminars, and use the opportunity to market your products to your potential clients. And then the clearer the objective, that is this, the sixth point now, the clearer the objective and the stronger the pride in belonging to a more powerful association. You must have a clear objectives while you should join powerful associations or trade centers. This would help to motivate you. By being part of those associations, you will be able to have a clear understanding of the current practices in your industry and what is being done in your industry. Okay, so your objectives for joining any association or joining any group, all right, that is related to the business that you do, that is industry related, because for you to succeed, you're not going to succeed in isolation. You need to be part of the industry and the global community. So you must have a clear objective of what is going on and the association you belong to, the objective of those associations as well. And then the last tip we are considering today for you to succeed in business in Nigeria, because times are hard, it is for you to make sure that your workers, that your staff, the people that work with you take pride in your company. That should be the major role of the managing director or the departmental heads. All right. Each of the directors, either in sales, in finance, in admin, the managing director himself, motivating your staff, your workers, the people who labor in your organization to take pride in the company, to take pride in the business, to take pride in the brand and the product and services of the company. You must make sure that you help them to be proud of the company in which they work. All right. That should be the primary aim of the managing director. You wake up in the morning, everything you do, try to make sure that you rally the entire organization to take pride and be proud of the brand that they work for and the brand that they represent. So these are some of the tips that I believe will help you, among other things. From time to time, we would come with several tips and more in-depth analysis and study on the tips that we believe would help you to succeed in Nigeria, in your country, in Africa, online and offline. Okay, so let us do a quick rundown through the tips that we've discussed today. We have said that we are looking at tips for business success in Nigeria, in Africa. The first one we said was that if you are selling to businesses, you must understand that you need to have business knowledge and product knowledge. And we also said that your sales team should be familiar with the competition and with the competitor, knowing what the products are, the prices and methods of your competition. And then we also said business to business transaction takes place between people who are experienced, people who are trained, all right, to handle top transactions, top business transactions. I we talked about the fact that if you want to take your business global or you want your business to be an international business, not just a national or a local business, you must have a worldwide reputation and a top brand image. This will usually open doors to your potential clients. And of course, we did say that there are prospects that are hard to get, but for you to be able to access the doors of these hard prospects, you need to soften their hearts. And how do you do that? By advertising campaign, okay, on social media, email marketing, cold calling online and offline. Then, of course, tele sales, being able to use your telephone to make sales, also being able to use SMS to make sales. And then we said that you should belong to some associations that are industry related, that your objectives for joining these associations must be very clear. All right. And then lastly, we did say that the people who work in your organization, the workers, the cleaners, the security men, the managers, the supervisors, the heads of departments, the directors, that the major objective, the major aim of the managing director from time to time should be on how to get the people to rally them to be proud of the brand and proud of the organization and proud of the company that they spend the bulk of their time working in. I do hope that some of the things that you have learned here today are helpful to you. So I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, share this video, click here, here, or here for the next video, and then let's see how we can succeed together in Africa. God bless you. My name is Ekato Christian Osaze. Have a great weekend. Bye.